Welcome to Bedtime FairyFails. I'm Kim. This episode was made possible in part by the live play D&D podcast All D20. We'll tell you a little more about them after the show. This story was sent in anonymously. This is a harrowing tale about rescuing a party member. I know that's a short intro, but hey, I'm allowed to be straightforward now and then. This is
Tummy Time.
Once upon a time, a party of heroes were wandering through the mountains. What were they doing there, you ask? Good question. I don't actually know. Probably following a quest or hunting a bad guy. But who am I to say? They could have been out for a nice hike. Either way, the important part is that they were in the mountains. The party consisted of a tiefling warlock named Harp, a halfling monk named Ash, and a human bard named Kel. Now, as the heroes were hiking through the mountains, they suddenly find themselves face to face with a behir. Let me tell you a little about this creature, because it's pretty terrifying. Behirs are huge, serpent-like creatures that are kind of a mix between a crocodile and a centipede. They're about 40 feet long with thick blue armored scales, kind of like a dragon. They have six pairs of legs that they can use to climb up sharp cliffs or walls. Since it's so snake-like, it also has the ability to slither around on the ground without the use of its legs. To top it all off, it has a head that looks a lot like a crocodile and also has lightning breath. These monsters are fast and fierce. Basically the last thing you want to run into on a hike. The heroes, having forgot their behir mace at home, prepared for an intense battle. The behir shoots its lightning breath at the heroes. Harp and Kel both manage to dodge it, but Ash the monk takes the hit, and it hurts. Harp casts Eldritch Blast at the behir and hits, but it doesn't seem to have done much damage. Kel the bard casts Vicious Mockery and yells,
"You're the ugliest caterpillar I've ever seen!"
The behir's feelings are pretty hurt, but the rest of him still seems to be in good shape. Then it was Ash's turn. He runs at the behir and swings his sword with all his might, but he misses. The behir turns towards him and with one fast strike swallows the monk whole. The other two heroes cry out for their swallowed comrade.
No! Oh my God! Ash!
But it's no use. He's already in the creature's stomach. The behir immediately turns and runs in an attempt to escape with its meal. The heroes give chase.
Hurry! We have to catch it before the stomach acid kills Ash!
They're shooting spells trying to slow it down. The warlock is hitting with his sword when he can catch up for a moment, and Kel is casting spells with amazing precision. The behir occasionally turns to shoot lightning breath at the heroes, but luck was on their side, and they dodge. The beast is fast, though, and the terrain is rough, so it's no surprise that soon the only one still keeping up enough to hit the beast is Harp the warlock. Finally, he takes out a leg, giving Harp the advantage he needed to land the killing blow. Harp kneels down next to the beast. He takes his sword and cuts the behir's stomach open. He pulls Ash out of the blood and literal guts and lays him out on the ground. Now, Harp is not good with medical conclusions, but he looks the monk over and makes his best assessment. He turns back to Kel and yells,
"I think he's okay!"
They both breathe a sigh of relief. Kel approaches Ash the monk and kneels down beside him. She looks at his ashy face and quickly realizes he's not breathing at all.
"You idiot! He's dead!"
Well, he looks fine to me.
Kel says nothing as she lifts up one of Ash's arms and lets it fall with a thud back to the ground.
Okay, I guess he's dead.
Says Harp.
I guess now we have to bury him.
The end. This tale was sent in by our favorite bartender and his group, the League of Extraordinary Assholes. This is a tale about two brothers. Not real brothers, though. They didn't share blood, but they did share one very distinctive trait. They were both really dumb. This is...
The Tale of the Dragon... No, together.
The Tale of the Dragon...
Together. The Tale of the Dragonborn Brothers.
Once upon a time, there were two Dragonborn brothers. Though not related by blood, they were raised by the same clan. Clan Ravax, to be precise. Followers of the great dragon god Gary.
Praise Gary!
Praise Gary.
It was obvious to all, save the brothers, that this clan was most certainly a cult. Their history lessons were all completely made up on the fly, thus the brothers didn't have a very good understanding of the world around them. In short, they were pretty dumb. The first brother was a blue dragonborn fighter named Zamat the Cruel. The other was a red dragonborn monk named Tomax the Nameless. Both brothers strived for greatness. Zamat's ambition in life was to create a warband that could conquer the continent, while Tomax wished to create a legacy that would outlive even him, which meant that Tomax was constantly changing his name, hoping one of them would stick. In fact, as of now, at the beginning of our story, he's known as Tomax the Dense, a name he picked because of how dense he was with muscles. Obviously. One night, the brothers and their party were staying at an inn when they heard a scream. Ah! They rush to investigate and they find an elf princess being assaulted by a giant spider. Zamat leads the charge with his lightning breath, screaming,
Lightning breath!
Except he completely misses the spider. Instead, he hits the princess, and also a tree. A tree which then falls on most of the party members. Tomax, having dodged the falling tree, rushes the giant spider and begins punching it and tearing off its legs. Mid-battle, he announces,
From this point on, my name will be Tomax the Spider Puncher!
However, in the end, it's actually the elven princess who delivers the killing blow to the spider. But that doesn't stop Zamat from cutting off its head as a trophy and telling a grand tale about how it was he who slew the spider, completely by himself, and with a rusty butter knife at that. Conveniently leaving out the part about the lightning breath mishap and also the whole rest of the battle. After things calm down a bit, the princess introduces herself.
Thank you, kind heroes. My name is Princess Nalia.
Tomax replies,
That's way too hard to pronounce. You will be Princess Nail.
No, I will not. My name is Princess Nalia.
Princess Nail!
Interrupts Tomax. The rest of the party originally stands up for her and tries to use her real name, but eventually they also find themselves calling her Princess Nail by accident. I mean, to be fair, it is a lot easier to say. I'm not even sure I can say it right. Nyla?
Fine, whatever. Just call me Princess Nail, I guess.
Relents a defeated Princess Nail. This also leads Tomax to change his title once again. This time to...
Tomax, the not stupid name giver.
Nailed it.
Princess Nail reveals that she had been tasked with saving her kingdom, and she needs the party's help. Naturally, they agree and prepare to set out the following morning. As they're traveling, however, the giant spider head trophy began to writhe with life until it exploded into a swarm of spiders. Without a moment's hesitation, Zamat screams,
Lightning breath!
and actually manages to barely hit his target this time, as well as Princess Nail. Again. Meanwhile, Tomax suddenly remembers he also has a breath attack, so he uses his fire breath on the swarm, which causes every spider in it to pop in quick succession. Which means it's time for another title change.
From this day forward, I will be known as Tomax, inventor of popcorn!
Praise Gary!
This event also led him to the conclusion that if a spider head exploded into spiders, then everyone's heads are full of spiders. And it's only a matter of time before they explode as well. He dubbed them brain spiders. Let's fast forward a bit. The party had been through many adventures together at this point and had been invited to a feast thrown by a local lord. However, it's cut short when the lord is assassinated before their very eyes. Zamat immediately jumps on the table, screaming his battle cry.
Lightning breath!
Except he didn't actually make the jump. Instead, he falls face first into the table, then fires his lightning breath, which burns through both the table and the floor, killing an innocent cook below. The party did manage to take down the assassin despite this, however, only for Tomax to approach the body and begin immediately stomping its head in.
Don't want to deal with assassin brain spiders, right? Also, from this day forward, I will be known as Tomax, the Head Crumpler!
Now, obviously the party needs to track down who sent the assassin. Their investigation eventually leads them to a small village. A village where all 100 or so humans who lived there were out in the streets to watch two tieflings get executed. The crowd boos and jeers at the tieflings, calling them horrible names and racial slurs.
You look like a scab on a troll's wart!
Get out!
You're like a dragon! Only shit!
Get out of here!
yourself.
I don't want you here!
Now, the paladin in the party is not okay with what's happening here, and he's prepared to fight the entire village to save these poor, defenseless tieflings if he has to. Zamat agrees and promptly does what Zamat does best.
Lightning boom!
The entire party rushes to clamp his mouth shut in hopes of preventing yet another disaster. The entire party, that is, except for Tomax, who was already using his fire breath to ignite several buildings. The fire spread quickly, causing mass hysteria in the village. Fortunately for the heroes, this allows Tomax to simply walk up to the two tieflings and untie them. He then says,
They're free now. Can we leave? I'm bored.
And they did. The heroes and the two tieflings leave the village with Tomax once again changing his title. This time to
Tomax, the village Burninator!
Once safe, the tieflings thank the heroes, saying,
Thank you again for saving us, kind adventurers. We were only being executed because we weren't human.
And also because we ate that kid.
So, Zamat ate the tieflings.
Praise Gary!
Praise Gary!
The end. Thanks for listening. If you like D&D podcasts, which clearly you do, be sure to check out one of our favorites, All D20. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen. To submit a fail, email me at bedtimefairyfails@gmail.com or message me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Bedtime FairyFails and Twitter as BT FairyFails.
Yeah, coming up, we have lot number 4565. It's a white box. Looks like the title says "Brain Spiders Be Gone." You ever heard of this product?
Yeah, Gary. So this product right here, this is called Spiders Be Gone. And what you do is you just take this little spoon right here, and you just take this with a little bit of this, and you just kind of shove it right up your butt. And what that's going to do is it's going to travel right up your system, and it's going to go into your head. It's going to get rid of all those brain spiders.
So you put the spoon in your butt. Why don't you just put the spoon? You take it orally or nasally, and you get to your brain faster. Why don't you put it up your butt?
I'll bring that back to the lab. We'll have to talk about that. That
Because it seems like a pretty easy workaround, and it seems like it's on fall right off the get go.
No, you got to put it up your.
How
butt.
many of these do we have? We're not going to sell any of these. How many of these do we have? How many did you buy?
We got about 20,000 of them.
Gary, you stupid motherfucker. Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, I just...
We're not going to sell any of these.
We were in a rush. There were brain spiders everywhere. We have to
with
get
a
on the
Sharpie.
trend
It says brain spider
before
be gone.
somebody else gets on
It's
it,
not
okay?
a good product.
You said we had to get something.
We're running an illegal scam now. You've made us felons. What did you do this for?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.